In the game of chess, where intellectual battles unfold, a thrilling clash of titans is about to take place. It is the midnight hour, and the virtual chessboard is set for an encounter that has the chess world buzzing with anticipation. On one side stands the unparalleled Magnus Carlsen, the living legend of chess genius and 5-time world chess champion. On the other side, armed with a loyal following of nearly 4 million subscribers on YouTube, is a charismatic chess player known as GothamChess. Magnus Carlsen is no stranger to online chess. Despite being a 5-time world champion and widely considered as one of the greatest chess players in history, Carlsen is known for liking his online matches. With his unmatched strategic ability and lightning-fast calculations, he has conquered countless opponents in the digital realm, always seeking new challenges to push the boundaries of his own mastery. Enter GothamChess, a rising star in the chess galaxy, whose captivating YouTube channel has garnered a devoted fanbase. With his engaging personality, sharp analysis, and genuine passion for the game, GothamChess has become a beacon of inspiration for chess enthusiasts around the globe. Now standing on once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, he prepares to test his skills against the strong force that is Magnus Carlsen. Gotham opened with pawn to e4, and Magnus responded with the pawn move to c5, the Sicilian defense. Gotham went for the open Sicilian and played knight to f3, while Magnus decided to play the can variation by playing pawns e6 and a6. Instead of going for the main variation with d4, Gotham decided to play pawn to g3, with the plan of developing the bishop to g2 and castling short. Magnus played pawn to b5, threatening to attack the c3 knight with pawn to b4. However, in the next move, the threat was not there, as there was no black piece attacking the e4 pawn. Gotham developed his bishop to g2, and when Magnus developed his bishop to b7 and attacked the e4 pawn, with the threat of pawn to b4, Gotham advanced the center pawn to d4. Magnus traded the pawns, and Gotham's f3 knight came to the center of the board. Magnus attacked the knight on c3 by pushing his pawn to b4. Now Gotham had two alternatives, either to play knight to e2 or a4. Knowing a basic trap with knight to a4, Gotham decided to play knight to a4. It is going to be interesting to see if the 5-time world champion falls for the opening trap against a player who is 300 to 400 elo below him in an online blitz match. After Magnus played knight to f6, attacking the e4 pawn, Gotham decided to castle without giving extra support to the e4 pawn. Now Magnus had two options, either to take the e4 pawn or to develop his other bishop to e7. If Magnus develops his bishop to e7, Gotham can play pawn to e5. If Magnus captures the g2 bishop, Gotham can take the f6 knight, attacking two bishops at the same time and potentially winning a piece. So Magnus grabbed the pawn on e4, and both players traded their bishops in the process. After Magnus' knight came to e4, this is where Gotham had his trap. Generally, white plays rook to e1 here, and if black plays pawn to d5 supporting the knight, white can play pawn to c4 and gain a good initiative. However, if black takes the knight back to c5 or f6, the game becomes equal. Knowing this variation, Gotham first played pawn to c4. If black takes the knight back, white can play queen to f3 with a good space advantage. If black plays en passant, white can play rook to e1. Black plays pawn to d5, and the variation repeats with an advantage for white. After Gotham played pawn to c4, Magnus developed his bishop to e7. The correct move for Gotham here would have been to play queen to g4 or f3. However, Gotham went ahead with his plan and played rook to e1. Magnus responded by supporting his knight with pawn to f5. Then Gotham attacked the knight on e4 and playing pawn to f3, and after his knight retreated, Gotham developed his bishop to g5. This is where Magnus started to disrespect his opponent. Here, Magnus cannot castle kingside, as Gotham can play knight to f5, trade the f6 knight for his bishop, and then deliver a queen fork on d5, attacking the g8 king and a8 rook. Having seen this, Magnus played the daring move king to f7. Initially, the plan seemed to be play rook to e8, then king to g8 for a makeshift castling. However, the greatest of all time in chess had different plans. After Magnus played king to f7, Gotham played queen to e2, with the plan of playing knight to e6 and launching an attack on the king side later. Now, Magnus played the most unbelievable move, I would say a disrespectful move, by playing his king to g6. Without much thought, Gotham played pawn to g4, thinking he could weaken the pawn structure in front of Magnus' king. However, Gotham completely missed the move king to g5, where Magnus could easily capture the unsupported white bishop. If you had noticed, Magnus made 3 consecutive king moves, from e8 to f7 to g6 to g5. What a daring path the king has taken in the middle of the game with queens around. Only legendary players can take such chances. Let's see if Gotham can punish the 5-time world champion for disrespecting him. After losing a complete bishop, Gotham took the f5 pawn. Now Magnus cannot recapture the pawn as the black king looks really weak, and Gotham can also capture the e7 bishop. With options like queen to d2, e3, g2, or king to h1, Gotham feels he's in a superior position. Magnus goes king to h6. After considering different options, Gotham captures the e6 pawn. If Magnus takes the e6 pawn back, Gotham can capture the e6 pawn with his knight and attack the d8 queen. With plans like queen to e3, Gotham can quickly checkmate Magnus Carlsen here. So Magnus played queen to a5, planning to bring his queen to h5 and provide additional support to his weak king. Now pause the video and try to find the brilliant but calm move by Gotham. I hope you found it. The correct move here is pawn to c5, which blocks the queen's path to h5. With options like queen to e3, queen to e5, and knight to f5, it looks like Gotham is going to win the game without much trouble. However, you never know what the 5-time world champion has up his sleeve to defend this position. Magnus generally likes to get a disadvantageous position in online games and then make a comeback from there. Is he planning to do a similar trick here again? Let's see. After Gotham played pawn to c5, Magnus can capture the a4 knight. However, that would result in his queen being completely away from the king's defense, and Gotham can play knight to f5, capturing the e7 bishop, and potentially checkmate Magnus very soon. So Magnus played knight to c6, and Gotham gave a check on f5. Then Gotham gave a check with his pawn on h4. If Magnus goes king to g6, Gotham can play queen to g2. Then after king to f5, capturing the white knight, Gotham can checkmate Magnus by playing queen to g5. So Magnus captured the knight on f5, and Gotham gives a check with queen to d3. If Magnus plays king to f4, then Gotham can play rook to e4, followed by queen to e4 and queen to g4 checkmate. Magnus blocks the check by playing his knight to e4. Gotham captures the knight with his queen, and the king goes to f6. Gotham goes for queen to f4 check. After Magnus played king to g6, Gotham played a calm move, king to h1, with the plan of bringing his rook to the party to checkmate Magnus. Now Magnus plays the only move h6 to take his king to safety. Gotham gives a check on g1, and if Magnus goes for h7, Gotham can checkmate in 2 moves with rook to g7 and queen to f7. So Magnus plays bishop to g5. Now Gotham cannot play h4, pawn to g5, and after the h6 pawn takes the rook on g5, there's a discovered check for Magnus, and Gotham will lose his queen. After considering that variation, Gotham played rook to g5. Magnus took the rook, and Gotham played queen to g5. After a few more checks, Gotham played the move rook to g1, threatening queen to g7 checkmate. If Magnus defends against that checkmate by playing either of the rook moves to g8, queen to h5 would lead to checkmate. GothamChess' stunning victory over Magnus Carlsen in an online game marks an extraordinary and historic moment, showcasing the ever-evolving landscape of chess and the rise of talented individuals from unexpected avenues.